Welcome to Minaj with the Mary Jane Maven podcast, where we spark up conversation, verbal elation, stimulation, share our situations, temptations, education, relaxations, and elevations. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're having a beautiful evening, an even better week thus far. It is December the 17th today.
Yes.
Gosh, guys, so that's what? How many days Christmas? 12, 11, 8? My math is awesome today.
Don't get me to lying.
We're doing a little different this year. We're taking a trip. So, to be honest, I have nothing in my house that looks like Christmas. That's probably why I don't know how many days, other than the fact that I'm not that quick at math, obviously. How many days? But I hope you guys are getting all of your shopping done. If you're like me, my husband and I shop every Christmas Eve. We get the big stuff, prior, but we're going and getting the games and all that good stuff that's, under $10 on Christmas Eve. So Mary Jane Maven says that's a tip for you. Don't, seriously, go about 9 o'clock on Christmas Eve.
PM?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because this is like the thick of it,
No, it's people are leaving,
okay.
and they usually be stock, which is funny because they're only open to maybe 12, maybe 1, maybe.
Yeah.
So they restock,
Okay.
for that time. So you're not digging through stuff.
My family gets together on Christmas Eve, so
Yeah.
I have to go to the Bay. So
You sound thrilled about that.
it is what it is. You see people all year. I'm more likely to celebrate Diwali than Christmas. So
I know.
right.
So you can
See,
explain. You
there
can
you go.
explain. You can jump into that and explain that. But it's that time of year, and I feel like it came really quickly.
I did.
I personally don't feel a lot of the consumerism and the stress and the keeping up with the Joneses by keeping up with the Joneses. No, keeping up with the Joneses, trying to get the best products, and I don't. My kids are older, so I don't know about the hot toy of the season. If there's anything like that people are in the stores, arguing over. Wait,
Well,
I'm
there's
sorry.
a lot
let
of
me, let me
weird
rewind.
toys.
Nobody goes to the stores for toys anymore, so let me rewind
Yeah,
that.
Target, Walmart.
Oh, people don't. I mean, I'm thinking more like a Toys R Us
Oh,
type thing
okay.
like that. Yeah. So if you're going to Target or Walmart, you're getting something else as well.
Right. I go
Traditionally,
there
but-
specifically for the toys. There's a lot of weird, shit themed toys and poo toys and
So
toilets.
much.
Very.
Why there's so many
There's a
and
lot
then
of 'em,
pimple
too.
popping. Now I'm a pimple popper, but I would not buy my children that game because I don't want to sit in a family night and play the pimple popping game. I don't.
Well, there was one that had
it.
like Mr. Bucket or something, but with poo. It was
There's
really
one-
strange. It looked like
There's one with
the
the toilet.
Christmas
There's
poo.
one, yeah.
Like Mr. Hinky from Remember South Park, the Christmas poo. Yeah.
Didn't want South Park.
Yeah. That
Didn't
part.
want. That's one animated cartoon or adult cartoon. That
But they were
watch
copying it for this game. So it's just, I don't know if that's what kids are asking for.
is that the theme for 2019? Play with shit? I don't know.
No.
But this is the look that my sons would get if he had to ask for that. Me nor Santa are getting that for you. So
no, there'll
But
be
yes.
none of that.
So, greetings and salutations once again. I mean, I said hi, but we kind of just jumped into the
Yeah.
convo like we do.
Yeah.
Of course, Mary Jane Maven here,
And Vita,
Girl.
bringing you life.
giving you life. I like that. Bringing you, giving you, fulfilling your life.
Mm.
Tonight, Chaz isn't here, guys. We're kind of floating around here with in between, who's going to be filling in our third seat. I kind of like that we have different, personalities, different energy coming in.
Yeah, me too.
So he will be back, as well as, our girl Lacey B will be coming back. And we'll have some others, So I'm meeting people all the time. I met somebody tonight.
Oh.
I was working at a dispensary doing my education that I love to do. And it's actually for this brand here that we're going to be talking about in a bit. And that's actually what we're going to be sparking up a bit here. It's going to be a good little Lola pre-roll. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I had a really good connection with customers tonight.
Okay.
Met somebody who's a podcaster.
Nice.
She just mentioned it. I said, what she said was, I'm coming to get my medicine for my podcast tonight. I said, well, isn't that funny? Because I'll be doing the same thing at 7 o'clock. And from there, we just kind of made this great connection. And, So we're going to be having opportunities like that, bringing other
Nice.
podcasters on,
I'm a little
taking a
jealous of
peek
that.
on theirs.
When I am working with people, they're not people I'm allowed to even connect with outside of work.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, I
Doesn't
don't
work for
want to, But it's
Isn't that
just like,
facts?
I miss that. I miss that element of being able to meet people through your job and deal with them later in other capacities.
I agree. There was something I had to learn about making friends and immediately thinking that work friends were my friends. There's a big difference. Those people don't owe you anything, They're coming for work just like I am, and I don't sign their checks. So there's no real reason for people to be that loyal where I was. So it only took one good time, though, for me to get burned by, the story.
When I worked at
by someone else's
Federico,
employees.
it's like you met other teachers, other instructors,
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
students.
It's
their
easier there.
success,
It's
you feel
definitely.
a part of it. Yeah, I miss
Well,
that.
when you're somewhere that you guys share a common interest, then it makes it that. So somewhere like, Federico, or when I worked at
Right.
Marinello, but you also learn that you can't trust everybody.
Well,
So I don't miss that about being, I don't miss shit about being
well,
anybody's
I do
employee,
keep
actually.
it, you kind of.
We have to keep it surface level. I had to learn that. My
Yeah.
husband had to tell me, coming home and sharing, like, I don't want to say so much of a heartbreak, but just, oh, they did this, and this, and he's like, well, you know what? Stop putting so much faith in people. Like, right off the bat, make them earn that. And that's something
But
I
I
had
used
to
to
learn.
could at least meet someone at work and have a drink with them or something. Yeah, it's not going to,
Yeah, I mean, just to feel that what you're doing right now definitely, kind of limits that. You can't really go and take one of your patients and be like, let's go to happy hour at Applebee's.
No.
Let's go to the apple, to the bees. So really quickly, I do want to give a shine, or not a shine of notice, but shine the spotlight. I can talk, guys. Upon our sponsor. And we know that is Monthleaf. Monthleaf is Northern California's favorite cannabis subscription club.
Yes.
It allows you to customize, try, and explore the new top-of-the-line strains and products and brands from multiple dispensaries. So it kind of allows you the opportunity to get to know what's out there without having to go and drive to X, Y, and Z type of dispensary. What's fantastic about it is that you're able to look at 3 different type of boxes, not just one particular. So you can look at a CBD, you can look at a THC, or you can look at one that's going to be more edibles. And they are in Northern California and growing. So looking for a Christmas gift, which I will definitely be purchasing for a couple of people in my life, go ahead and check out Monthleaf. They do have a daily delivery service as well, but you can find them on Instagram. And we have everything tagged in, all of our posts and everything. So thank you so much to good Lord. Munchleaf. It's Monthleaf. Good. What is it? Oh, you know what it is? Days and days with no sleep. So I'll tell a little bit story about that. So my husband is a, you know what? Sorry, let me go back here. Let me go back about Monthleaf really quick. I left out a box. So there's a puff box, which is flower, an edible box, which is edible. Then we have our CBD box, and then a sample box. So all of that mixed together.
So 4 options.
Yes, please excuse me. Now, back to why my brain doesn't seem like it's quite working as quickly as it normally does. Husband is a wonderful teacher, and he had to take over a class for somebody that's not a wonderful, dedicated teacher, and who left with all of their work undone.
Shame
so
on them.
what would you say, babe? 800
Oh gosh,
easy papers to grade?
too many.
So for the last week, with a little break over the weekend, because we have college friends in town, family in town, so we had to take a break.
Fun.
It was a good time. We stayed up till 5:30. Our alarm goes off at 6:15. So this is the 7th night, sixth night last night that I told my husband, go to sleep, I got it. So I was up all night. No, these eyes have not closed. So it's amazing how cannabis actually helps to be able to get you up and get you to where you need to go, because I had shit to do today. And thank you to some very good sativa purchased last night by the great, we're great, but from the guys that you liked, Forest Boys, or the brand, and our favorite, Chapo.
Okay.
Yeah, Chapo Kingdom, right? Yeah.
Well, also what's getting you through is that teamwork you were telling me about. Like, you're like, okay, you got to work in the morning, so you go to sleep. I'm going to do this because I can sleep during the day.
Yeah.
And that teamwork,
And then I didn't.
that's a part of dedication,
Yeah.
That person who left their work undone wasn't dedicated. And they just are shirking. And there's just a lot of that in general, And
Too
I
much
feel
of
like
it.
cannabis has always helped me to be accountable in life, right? To where I'm like reflecting on what I'm doing.
And that's what I was going to say. And I was going to ask you, why do you think that is? But I think it's, and if anybody who, has ever smoked some real good, whatever gets you in your mind.
Your
Or
mind,
allows you
right.
to meditate
And
and
so-
kind of take a step out of yourself and your situation and just have like an inner conversation with yourself. I definitely
I don't want to
agree with
be
that.
like in my head thinking, gosh, I'm flagrant, Oh, I'm undedicated. Oh,
Sometimes those are thoughts that people need to have.
Well, they need
You
to be
know?
honest with
Yeah.
themselves. So in my honesty and when I blaze, in my honesty with myself, I'm like, I want to be an accountable person
Yeah.
who shows up. And when I'm not committed anymore, I'm out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm going to try not to just like bone out and leave shit undone. But before I be there bullshitting, I will just be out.
Yeah.
And I think people need to get with that program too. Like, don't let it be 800 papers in before you decide, I can't do this. I'm out of here.
No, that wasn't it. He knew. He took the job. Yeah.
And treated it like that. And that's
He
crazy.
took it, yeah,
like,
a
I'm
temp
sick
job.
of that with people.
Yeah,
you know
well,
what I mean?
It bothers me when these are kids that you're
Right.
leaving high and dry.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
as much as people want to think that kids are stupid, they're not. So what they start to feel is maybe in their personal lives, somebody has left them. And then school is supposed to be kind of a sanctuary, even though most kids don't think of it that way. It is some place that they can go for 8 hours out of the day if they are having trouble at home and have a turbulent, home
Well, you're
life.
having an influence on their mind, and this is
Very
what
much.
you show them. Like,
Yeah.
I'm out. Who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah,
Don't
no
care about your
commitment.
grade.
Yeah, that's-
whatever
yeah.
to you. You may have
One-
stayed up all night studying for that test, doing that paperwork.
They didn't. I'll
And
tell you that, though.
well, I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay, I'll say sidebar really quickly. So names, parents.
Oh no!
Let's talk.
Don't
Right here,
say any
right here, right
names.
here.
Don't say no.
Right
names.
here.
No, please don't say no. She's not gonna say.
No.
anything,
I was actually going to use Trey Kennedy. He's a content creator. If you guys watch this, you're going to be like, so she likes Trevor Wallace, Trey Kennedy. Okay, so they are separate people, but he is funny. You guys, please watch him. Maybe this will get back to him and he'll give me a little shout out. We can do something together. No, but he had a video where it was roll call in 2020 in 10 years. The names, Gaston, Caspian. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I can't even do it any justice, but
There's a lot of
I'm reading
adjectives
names.
for
Yes,
names.
yes,
and stuff,
yes.
you
And
know?
once he was like, "Oh, a lot of X's." But I'm reading and I'm grading papers and I'm reading the grades back to my husband so he can input them. And he's like, "That's not the name." I'm like, "Well, that's how it's spelled. So don't spell it this way if that's not like." Okay, so one thing is, we live in a world. Let's be very honest. We know this. If you don't know this, I'm about to tell you something, but I'm also concerned that you don't know this. You get profiled by your resume. You get profiled by your name. Let's give our children a legs up, a heads up. Let's give them something a platform where they can have something to jump off of, not something that's hindering them. Please don't. And people don't do this anymore, but this was definitely when we were growing up. Don't name your baby Alizé. And that's just a broad,
Or after your favorite band, it's like
You know.
Jodeci. Come on.
Come here, Jodeci.
Well,
Can
see,
you-
this is where it's like
Ridiculous.
going back to just be dedicated. If you really are trying to be dedicated to the process of being a parent, you're going to put some effort into that name.
Because
It's
you
not
want them to
just
have a
about
better
your
life.
favorite
Yep.
little
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
that you love. And so you're going to name this baby after that like it's a pet.
Yeah.
That's what you do
Beanie
with your
Baby.
pet. Like I
love
named my
those. So I'm gonna
pet
name my
Sweet
baby
Pea.
Beanie Baby.
Yeah, my pet was Sweet Pea and
So I have
Cutie
a funny
Pie.
story. So we've always had our names written down. Once my husband and I decided, like, it's me and you, it's us, we're each other's person. So we still do. I still have the book where the names are written down. I always loved the name Camille because I thought it'd be cute to call a daughter Cammie. So I thought that was cute. We watched Roots. I had never seen Roots in its entirety. I'd seen bits and pieces, but we watched Roots when it was its like 30-year anniversary or something like that. And I was hell bent on naming our daughter Kizzy. And my husband looked at me. He wasn't my husband then, but he looked at me like, what in
Come
the
on
entire
now.
hell is wrong with you? I thought it was empowering and cute. Okay.
Kizzy Kente.
I wasn't going to go that far. But I thought it was cute. And then I was like, well, can it be a middle name? And he was like, it cannot. It can if you're having a baby
Well,
with
find
somebody
a
else.
name
But
and then maybe the nickname could be Kizzy.
I thought it was cute.
It's just not a serious enough name for life. It's a nickname. Like Kizzy's a nickname.
Could have
Sorry.
been. No.
Right,
That
but
was
if
his
you
thing.
don't
That
use
was
it
his
at
thing.
all,
That
cool,
was his
it's a nickname.
And then I started messing with him. I was like, what about Queen? And he was like, I'm done with you.
Oh, God.
You guys, I hope you know what I'm getting at. If not, please go read a book. Please. Really good book to read, though. So, yes, so we're good. All off topic here. All off topic. So, we are doing something a little different today, guys, where we are going to Skype in our guest.
Yes.
It is somebody that I look up to in the industry. This man is the most humble person ever. He has the best accomplishments and is always doing something. I'll message him or text him and like, I see you, you're coming up. And he's like, oh, not a big deal. I love that he's so humble like that. And his name is Chef Matt. He is the owner of Ganja Eats and CBdaily Eats. Okay. He's also, I mean, if you guys have followed anything as far as any event in LA that has to do with like the ESPYs, for example, he was the one that for the VIP room, for the swag and all that, for the special guest, he was the one that was catering that and doing like demonstrations and stuff. One day I log onto his Instagram and he's just chilling in Vegas. He had been flown out by Jamie Kennedy. And
Nice.
And I was like, you mean
Malibu's
yes.
Most Wanted.
Yes. Traffic.
Chandra.
Love that movie. So so just little things like that he's doing, but he has a great story, and we actually have a great way and a little background at how we met. So he's gonna be on. We're gonna be Skyping that, guys. But what I want to do before that is because he's waiting. He just texted me. So what I want to do is definitely give our quotes. You know, that's how it goes. So nourish the body and feed the soul. And you guys will get exactly why it's that quote. We'll talk about, like I said, Chef's going to tell his, his little bit of history. We'll see how that rolls in. So what I want to do is, courtesy of Lola, this is going to be our spark and salutation participant this evening, I guess you would call it. So I do brand education, like I've shared before. I'm definitely going to be talking about that. That position in the industry and kind of give you guys a little feedback about how you can get into it and how rewarding it is. It's very rewarding for me because I'm having a hand in educating the masses so that we can eradicate all of the bullshit stigmas and allow people to get back to having the power to elevate their lives and medicate and to take care of their health and wellness the way that they see fit, not the way that the government tells them to. So I only contract with companies that hold that same belief. Their products are good. They first and foremost, I want to know that you're not in it for the green rush. You're not in it just for the money. You're in it for a larger purpose. And Lola is definitely one of those brands. So they are premium, carefully curated and crafted pre-rolls.
I like that.
Yes, they are. So they come in half ounce. Good. I said that earlier today. I need some sleep. Half grams, right? Man, like this isn't even live and people would be like running to wherever they could. Good Lord. Half gram, and it's 3 of them. Really cool. I'll open one of my boxes that I use during my demos. Each one comes in its own case. So I don't know anybody that is a 1, 2, 3 puffer, but if you are and you want to put it back in, you can.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
Yes. So also the casing, which I like, you have to be responsible, recyclable. Except for those plastic casings, but that's going to change. They're going to turn into, I believe, glass where they can then be, completely recycled.
Okay.
So what we have here is, it's a beautiful rainbow spectrum. You go from the least psychoactive, which is a 25-to-1 CBD ratio, and this is the gift. And this is a really good. I mean, if you guys know anything about CBD, 25-to-1 ratio it's great. That's high. And I'm confident in saying the highest within the industry as far as within pre-rolls.
So this would be like good for someone, say, anxiety and pain, but
Just gonna
they're
say that.
not trying to get lit.
No psychoactive at all.
Okay.
Now, with this one being that it is such a high ratio, I'm not going to say that you're psychoactive, but you do get this like euphoric
Oh yeah.
relief of anxiety and inflammation. And I feel like once you're done, you're going to notice yourself feeling better. And they're going to be like, wait, I didn't notice I felt bad prior
It's
to
more
smoking
like
it. So.
lifted without being high. It's
Yeah, like I said, it's more of a euphoric. Yeah, it's the best way I can describe it. So, and then we get over to our relax. The rest of these strains here have about 2% CBD, which I'd put a smaller amount in there. But what I love about them is that it's not one specific strain. So they're working very hard to make sure that they create a strain or create flower that's going to elicit each experience that you want. So calm, relaxing. Mingle is great for somebody that has social anxiety. They don't really like being in social environments, or they just need some help, in a kind of mingle environment. This Imagine, really, really good. This one is one that, really, it's elevating.
for writers.
Very good. Yeah,
Okay.
creativity, high energy.
crafty.
Exactly. So, and then we get to what I like really, and that's because I'm more of a connoisseur. So I need something that's gonna get me
Right.
lifted. So these are our hash. You laughing at me because I keep knocking stuff down?
she
My
smokes a lot.
tolerance is here. Yeah. So these are our latter two here. These are Transcend and Trance. Now, what I will say is Lola did an excellent job at naming each
Okay.
one of these because that's exactly what it is. So
Which one would
these
be good
two,
for dancing? Give me like some dance energy.
the Transcend.
Transcend.
Yeah. So I just want to dance. What movie is that from? Quick.
Ooh. I don't know.
Oh, Dazed and Confused.
Oh, I need to just go watch the damn movie because you're just always quoting it. So
It's
I gotta
so
get back in.
good. I'm so mad at you that you have not from the first time I said it. It's
Look,
really
you know
good.
what? I was really okay. I'm not gonna lie. I went to Dazed and Confused, and
You went 2 days. In
when I went to see Dazed and Confused, I was not sober, and I really haven't watched it much since then.
That's a travesty. You should be upset with yourself. No, I'm kidding. No, it's the type of movie that I legit can watch, turn off, and turn right back on. That and Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay.
Yeah, my husband's crazy. He doesn't think it's good.
I don't like Napoleon.
Oh my
Dynamite.
gosh, what is wrong with you guys? I
Sorry.
can't. I'm done. I can't. No. It is funny. Well, first of all, my husband thought it was set in current times when we first watched it. And I was like, no. He thought it was set in the 80s. And I was like, no, babe, it's set in current times. He's like, why are they dressed like that? I was like, because they're from middle America. That's like the whole thing. It's very hard watching a movie like that that's not supposed to be taken that seriously or analyzed with somebody who's very analytical.
But I did
So,
like Dazed and Confused. I did. I don't know it to quote it. Like, can you start quoting Color Purple a little more often or something? You know, I don't know that movie
Girl.
either.
do I want to be sad? Like, what? Told Harpo to beat me. Like, no.
No, there's a
girl.
ton of great lines from Color Purple.
What?
I don't know.
Better uplift. Exactly.
I don't know
I'll
her
wait.
either.
I
I don't know her either.
So yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So yeah, so we are going to be tonight. We're gonna get a little in a
try that? Get to
trance.
try a
We're gonna
little
get a little in a
trance?
trance. So this is gonna be our guest tonight, or our cannabis guest. Can you open that, please? I'm just having a hard time now.
How do I open this?
Tear it
It's
along the bottom
childproof.
and then
Oh, okay.
squeeze. I know it shouldn't be adult proof, but it is.
Oh, I was looking at it like there's some work going
Oh,
on.
there it
in
is right there. There we go. I just had to use my nail.
You
I
have
had
to
to use my
show
nail.
me what to
All right,
do.
boom.
Okay,
Look at
there you
that.
go.
Didn't need her help, but I'll try. Like I tell my 8-year-old, try first.
So cute.
Isn't it? I really,
It's
I
like a
love the
little
packaging.
picture and everything.
And you can keep, what I like about it is I like products and packaging that you can keep and utilize again. So it's cute. You can, if you're having a little event and you want to show off to your friends, you can act like you're real big, show it up, keeping it open.
They can even be upcycled and be repainted. So, like my daughter, they want to paint boxes that are nice quality and like
Aw.
redo them so they kind of black
See,
them out.
I just asked you
and
the other
then
day what she
redo
was into.
stuff.
I know she was on your nerves, but that's something right there. Getting her into
she's in
art or something.
She wants to go to Met. The Met.
Good. Girl, you better start, getting that money together there. Working that out. Work it out. All right. So let's go ahead and spark this up. And while we're doing that in the process, we're going to go ahead and hit up Chef Matt because he's all ready. He texted me a bit ago. So I'm not sure. Should we just go ahead and Skype him? Yep. Okay. Okay. Here, baby. Yes. Shout out to our fantastic, very flexible, very patient engineer, Steph Lowe. She's fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know, I'm gonna have to
shout
take her
out.
with me when I blow up. You know, when I'm getting my big things going on. Not no, she's awesome.
Nice.
She's awesome. And it's funny 'cause sometimes I'll look over to like take the temperature of what we're talking about, and if she's cracking up, then I'm like, all right, we're good, we're good. So let's see, Chef Matt. Hold, give me 1 second, guys. I mean, you know, this is what it is.
Yeah, no,
So-
it's all good.
We definitely. You just want his number or his Skype name?
They just do the phone number.
Okay. Cool beans. So we're going to get that now. Like I normally we'd be moving much faster than this. Is taking
Let
a
me see
little
those.
time.
Oops, sorry.
Just-
Do you have that fire?
All right. Stop. Continue.
These are real nice.
They're rolled, but no, we know. Compare those to where we were last summer.
Yeah, last fall. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was I was there during the summer, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that is definitely not boo boo. And people aren't purposely dropping those on the floor so that they can have smokes at lunch, which is what we would do. All right, there we go. I got it sent over to you. So I'm gonna let him know that we are.
Well, you know, you just got to be committed to the process of whatever it is you're doing. So if you're rolling and you work at a
What kind of rolling?
pre-roll,
Oh,
and you're
Rolling,
rolling, you know, you
rolling,
work
rolling.
at a cannabis company and you're doing the pre-rolls, please commit yourself to the size and the weight and the uniformity of the product, you know. And if your job is to go over and check all that, please commit yourself to actually doing
Well,
that.
about to get a little bit messy. You can't do that when your main concern was trying to go and
Boss up
suck
on
off
somebody.
the boss underneath the table. So
Or
that's a
get
little different
rowdy
story.
with people like you gonna do something.
Losing the ever-loving mind. I mean, I don't understand why she wanted me to hurt her feelings so bad.
Look, I just don't play with people. I just show you that I know all the rules and, you know.
Because it definitely ended up happening. Got her feelings hurt real quick. And then, guess what? Lost her job. Yo bad. So what I do want to talk a little bit more about is I want to kind of give a shout out. We're going to kind of jump, you know, around here. Not around, but we're going to jump ahead in what we normally do. There you go. Look at her. Now,
I know,
those of you
right?
that have watched, you have ever seen her be like, hand me the lighter? That was pretty dope.
Ooh.
That was pretty dope. Yep, Spark on beat.
Hello?
Hello, Chef. How are you?
Hello.
All right, how about yourself?
I am blessed. Thank you so much. I want to thank you for joining us. I know that you're a very busy man, and I appreciate you taking your time. So you are on with Minaj with Mary Jane, and my co-host here, my buddy, Vita, giving you
Hello.
life.
Hello.
So she's
Hey,
here as well.
everybody.
Yes, so she will, you know, if you hear another voice, that's who it is. I'm not switching up and using different voices.
Okay.
So, Chef, what we're doing tonight is, you know, you've known me for a while, what, 2-3 years now? Gosh.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah. So, you've been an inspiration to me. I think, you know, we've had conversations where I'll just say this. It started off with a text, and I don't know how you would tell through the tone of my text that I needed to talk. But you would then call me and be like, what's going on? Get out of your head. Keep it moving. You have your vision. So,
Right.
you know, definitely want to thank you for those times that you've kind of helped me keep my head above water, you know, and not throw in the towel and give up. So,
Right.
So, Chef, I gave you a little bit of an intro, you know, before calling.
Okay.
But why don't you just kind of share really briefly who you are and what it is that you do within the cannabis industry?
Oh, man, I'm just a man who loves to cook. Happen to be blessed enough to, you know, cook with cannabis and CBD.
And you do a
I
damn
don't
good
know
job.
I don't know what else to say.
He's a man of very few words. I will say this. I'll tell a little bit of a background about how we met. When I first started in cannabis, I, you know, definitely wanted to make a name for myself, and we all know that means social media. So I'm getting on Twitter, and I spend a lot more time on Twitter. Actually, I can't tell you the last time I got on, which I should probably get back. but I spent way more time on Twitter than I did on Instagram. And one day I'm seeing, these posts, and I'm seeing, tagging Snoop and tagging the game, and, just people that we know are fellow connoisseurs.
Okay.
And it was letting them know about a completely infused turkey meal dinner that you could get. And I said, well, that is genius. What was this? So as we all do, I did a little bit of social media stalking. And I went into Chef's page, and I saw what he was trying to do. He was definitely doing a lot of tweeting at these specific, artists and obviously, like I said, connoisseurs.
Right.
So I thought, hey, I don't have that many followers, but never know. Maybe it'll get to Snoop, because I could definitely see Snoop being like, yeah, let me go ahead and get a fully infused, Thanksgiving dinner. So
Snoop don't like edibles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised at that. I mean, that lets you know that you look. Step
I
up.
don't either, so that's why I was looking at your roster as like edibles, yay or nay. I'm not.
I think you just need to find the right one. Like a
Well,
meal would be
just,
different.
Just trying to change the stigma on edibles. Everybody think edibles has to be Rice Krispie treats or brownies. And just trying to show people that it can also be something savory, such as breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So just trying to help change the narrative of that. You know what I mean?
Right, right. I would think I might like the infused dinners and foods, because they're not always the THC. You can do just some CBD and really work with the levels.
And that's good, because Chef also has that's part of his brand. So
yeah, it comes down to also the method of infusing. A lot of people are using distillate, which affects the body different way. I tend to use flour in my products when I cook with it. I just feel like it's a little bit more natural.
Okay.
And you're getting all the full terpenes and all the natural processes. But that's a little bit harder to do when you're trying to scale. So I understand why people use distillate, but it isn't always the best, in my personal opinion, if you know what I mean.
yeah, no, and I like that you say that. And I know you don't mind me sharing, but Chef, you're not much of a you don't medicate with the cannabis. He's not.
Well, I don't smoke it.
You don't smoke,
I
yeah.
don't like that. It's two totally different feelings. I eat, I
Right,
eat
it
it every
is.
day. As far as breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I eat it. I'm more of an edible person than smoke it. So I smoke a lot of CBD flower, but I personally just don't like the way smoking it feel. Just like people don't like the way it makes them feel when they eat it. So
Right,
it's just two
exactly.
personal different reasons. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I know that your background, so I don't want to take over and tell your entire story, but as I was mentioning, I reshared his post on Twitter for a couple of days. You know what you do when you want somebody to notice you, in social media. So I shared a couple different posts, and then I finally contacted him and wanted to see if he was interested in his product being a part of a online marketplace with a name that we shall not speak of, with a company. Yes, because Chef, you told me about him early on. But yes, so this company was, let's bring Chef on, let's have him be the face of our our cooking show that
Right.
we're gonna do, and just a whole lot of flapping about the gums. And then when it came time to really have things come to fruition, they went with somebody else who they thought had a little bit more pull, and they tried to lie about it. But what was funny was Chef Matt is friendly with that chef.
Oh,
Good
okay.
stuff.
Yes. So while they were lying to me, and I'm going back and telling Chef Matt information, Chef's like, I'll never forget. We were at CarMax because I was buying a car, and he's like, "Can you go outside? I got something to tell you." And he says, "Look, I could tell you straight off what's going to happen and what's not going to happen." And he told me, and then so I said, well, let me go ahead and call and play dumb and try to find out some information from, who I was with, in case, and they ended up falling right into the trap. So that spoke volumes to me. But that was definitely one of the times, and there's been a few, that I felt like, oh,
Yeah,
I just ruined this
but you
man's
know what?
time.
It won't be the first and the last.
Yeah.
The industry is full of a lot of talk. And you just got to go with the punches. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are going to say a lot of stuff and not deliver. So you just can't take in every person. You know, you got to
That's
have a
right.
thick skin.
Yeah.
Remember what your goals are and what you are there to do.
That's right.
And I use a hashtag success by any means. So it's like you have to tell yourself that you're going to be successful by any means, and not one person is going
Right.
to
Hinder that. Yeah.
flip that
Exactly.
magic switch for you, if you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. So
Mm-hmm.
once a person gets that through their head that there's not one, everybody has this dream of meet one person that's going to change their life. And
Right.
people have to realize it doesn't happen like that. It's going to take a lot of hard work and you putting your head down and just doing the work, and everything that's supposed to come to you
Will
come
come.
to you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay committed to the
Yeah.
process
And I was
to
in
get
Right.
that,
what you
yeah.
want
I
out
was
of
in that
it.
point in time because it was so new. It was probably within the
Right.
first 6 months that I was, into the industry.
Right.
And so I still had that same tendency of what we talked about earlier, trusting
Right.
those that I was employed with a little too much.
Yeah.
Uh,
And because I thought that these individuals were like, the geniuses, and they knew, and they had, something that was a market that wasn't tapped into.
right.
And I fit into that, so I thought. But Chef, definitely, you talked me down. You said, "Look, I have opportunities coming up. I'm not gonna forget you. I'm not leaving you anywhere." And you and I
Right.
had maybe spoken 3 times over the phone, mostly through text, at this point in
Yeah.
time.
And look where you at now, though. I'm on your fucking podcast. You
I
get what I'm
know.
saying?
I know.
So
Look at that.
look how things work out. Things
Yeah.
go 360, if you know what I mean. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
It's when I finally let go of my controlling Aries ways that, are deep in me. I had
Right.
to take a step back, and I've said it before, and I will say it again, because every time I say it, it's gonna meet somebody, or it's gonna get to somebody else, and it's gonna help them.
Right.
Reading The Alchemist is what helped me to change my complete mindset. Once I did that and I committed, there we go,
Mhm.
committed to actually making the change. And I say all the
Mhm.
time, I chose to step out of fear and step
Mhm.
into my passion and my purpose. And once I
Most
did
definitely.
that, it was scary. But once I
Right.
did that, things just started coming. And then this year, I can say that me committing even more and making and taking small goals and being accountable for the things that I know that probably I, things that I embody that are hindrance to me, being able to be
Yep.
accountable, identify that, and then work to change it. That worked for me this year as well, because things have grown very much. So, hello, Tyler. Thank you so much.
I
Good
have a
friend of
Yes.
mine from high
question.
school.
Oh, sorry.
Uh,
I have
you
a
know,
question.
and sometimes it's about getting out of your own way, and sometimes you could be your own worst enemy. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
sometimes you just have to, get out the way, of
Yeah.
yourself, and get all those doubts and fears out of your way, and just trust that everything is going to work itself out. If you know what I mean,
Yeah.
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 Chef Matt, I have a question for you. It's Avita.
go for it.
Um, Tiff had her, MJ, hey, y'all didn't hear that shit. Anyway, MJ had her quote, and it's nourish the body and feed the soul. So, how would you say through your practice of making, cannabis infused food, that you're helping to nourish the body and the soul?
I love that, because I was just going to ask you to tell your background, but
Yeah.
I was going to tell you this, to share the story that I always share to people about your
Right.
friend and her child and autism, and kind of how that clicked for you. So, but you go right ahead.
Yeah.
Share all that.
I don't know. I think I just cook with like a lot of love and a lot of passion, and I just hope that that translates to the food. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
A lot of people's claim to fame is that their food has weed in it. And my claim to fame is that my food is good and it has weed or CBD in it. You get what I'm saying?
Right, right.
And he did a
And
very
so,
good job. You did an excellent job at separating the brands and having having that
right,
THC and the CBD. He was so generous to send me. I mentioned that I wanted to get my grandmother to start using CBD, but I wanted her to do it in a way that was not scary, that was non-intimidating, and one that didn't interfere with her very religious beliefs.
right.
And you were able to, completely understand that. And I mean, within 3 or 4 days, I had a huge package that he sent to me of all of the products that he had. Salad dressing. There
Nice.
was a rub, like a beef rub, a dry rub. honey, and that I think we went out of that the fastest. Let's see. I was gonna bring the bottles, but I was rushing coming from one event to here. I still have those bottles. They've been empty. I still have them, chef.
Right.
Just so you know.
Gotta get another package out there.
I know, collector's item though. I'm gonna keep it. Like, I had the first. I had some of the first, packaging. But I mean, just tons of stuff, guys. And he said, share that with your grandmother. Let me know what it is that she likes. And he really did ask a lot of questions to be able to find out what would benefit her, so that he would make that product. And I thought that was excellent, because a lot of people will say, no, this is my product line, so choose from my product line.
Right.
He was very open to, maybe a blue cheese dressing if that needed to be it. But, so
I really want to in nursing, there's a lot of dietary parameters, and they can be really hard to follow, like a renal diet or, for kidney failure and things like that. And I feel like, gosh, if I could just do that, right, and infuse it.
yeah, that would be good.
Perfect,
So, chef, in your your experience, that's kind of what you wanted to do. You don't necessarily want to get people just lit like the brownie sitting on the couch,
Right.
coddle
The
time.
medicine, right?
Yes.
For a part of healing too. I have to be careful with verbiage. Maybe not medicine, but treatment.
Well, I think medicine is a good word. I get a lot of calls for people, and they, man, we want to have this event, or we got 5 of us, and we want to get fucked up, we want to get stoned, and I just politely explain to them, like, that isn't what I do. I'm not there to get you fucked up or stoned. You can call one of these other people, and they'll be happy to do that for you, but that's not what I'm in it for. I'm in it for the medical side of it, and for people who need it to maintain and are trying to get off of different opioids and different, prescription meds. I do it for those people, and not for the people just looking to get stoned, for that purpose. You can go to anybody for that. I'm just not that guy.
Anybody and anywhere. I was telling a story earlier about how we used to get just shake and not do it properly at all. And we're like, we about to make some brownies. We wouldn't make butter. We would just literally take the Dunkin' Hines or whatever batter and just put the freaking and we're eating brownies, but just with wheat, but it still was good and still.
I think I had a 420 cake once. It was still one of my best birthdays, though. I'm not that into edibles, but my friends made me the cutest little 420 cake. They made it themselves, and we went into Spike and Mike, Sick and Twisted. Oh, it was the best birthday ever.
Throw back with that. Oh,
I
my
know, right? You used to
Well,
blaze in the Crest Theater. Sorry.
That's what we're trying to get into more, pastry stuff too, because we explored maybe a person being able to walk into a dispensary and order a birthday cake or a wedding cake.
Right.
But the way that works is, by the time it's done at the facility, has to be transported to the distribution company. They gotta cut a piece out of it, and then it has to sit there for 2 weeks. So it just doesn't work. So the alternative was just sell people the heavy cream or the vegetable oil,
right, and the mixer,
or in the mixer, and then they can make the stuff themselves at home. And if they follow the instructions of what's on the bottle, they'll be able to accurately dose what it is that they're making.
Right.
And I'll call it just like CBD and cannabis for dummies. It just has the total amount of milligrams per bottle and per serving. And it,
well, that's what it has to have,
everybody.
period.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes it more accurate for sale and as a legitimate business.
And more medicinal
is measures.
and nature.
And medicinal, because, with medicine, there is this many milligrams, this many times a day by this route at this time, right? So,
so with Chef's had this conversation before, and I have to say, when he was talking just now, I got chills, because I just realized that you completely manifested something that you shared with me when we first spoke. You said that you wanted to be able to not just have your brand for yourself, where it was like, it's mine and this is my product.
Right.
He envisioned other chefs using it, and not just cannabis, but a Rachel Ray going, you know what, we're going to go ahead and or somebody like that. And that has since then happened. I've definitely seen videos of people using Chef's, products. And so
nice.
I just want to say congratulations to you and big ups, because not only are you doing it for the right thing, you're setting a tone for other people that love food, to be able to get into this industry and do it the right way and set themselves apart.
Be like the Emerald Lagasse of cannabis.
Right. Well, you
But
found
you
a
know,
lot.
I appreciate it, and there's I still feel like it's a long way to go. We're not anywhere near the finish line, but I just feel like as a company, we're going to keep creating products and pushing the limit. And before you know it, we want to have a pantry full of products that people can use to medicate themselves, whether it's CBD or cannabis. Either one, we want to have it.
I definitely think you will because it's something that you're doing right. Everybody else that can call themselves a cannabis chef,
Yeah.
they're doing nothing against getting your money, but they're doing like private dinners, where they're charging a certain. It's just it's not
Well, the
conducive
one,
or
well,
along
the one
lines with.
thing, well, the one thing I never do is I'll never call myself a cannabis chef or a CBD chef. I am a chef
That's
You
right.
go.
that cooks with cannabis and CBD. I feel at the point you call yourself a cannabis chef, you don't really have a real resume. I have a
Right.
long, lengthy, real resume, and I would never discredit my resume.
Hmm.
Oh,
Hmm.
great.
So
And those are the
anytime
same
people
people.
Great.
walk up
So
to me
you're
and say
committed to food
they're
process, the process of dealing with
right,
food. And it's not just like,
right,
hey, I wanted to do something in cannabis, so I started messing with food. No, no.
right,
You're committed to
right,
food.
Well, if I'm
And
not mistaken,
yeah.
if I remember correctly, and I hope I want to prove to everybody, people that smoke weed have good memories. But you were in the service, correct? Where you cooked for a while,
No, I wasn't in the service. I just worked for a very high
mixing up.
profile, one of the biggest hotel chains, and
Ah,
Yes.
I was
Okay.
okay.
able to
You had her
work around the
longest run.
world, if you know what I mean,
Worked around. That's what
overseas.
it was.
So,
So not we don't. People that smoke, we don't have a bad memory. We just make up stories, obviously. So
right,
that's what we do.
right.
But okay.
I
So.
mean, and don't get me wrong, I used to smoke weed. I smoked tons of
Hmm.
weed. It just hit me one day, and I didn't like the way it made me feel no more. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. So saying that because I know and everything that he posts, he probably hates to see when he gets that little message in his messages on Instagram because it's me and I'm doing the the clapping hands or the hearts or whatever, the
Oh,
100s.
that stuff doesn't bother.
No, no, no. I know. I think
Right,
we've never actually been in the same room, but I feel like we know
right,
each other very well. You kind of know, know
right,
my how I can be silly and sometimes I joke,
right.
but it's really with some realness in there. But no,
right.
so you're doing some amazing things, but you're working with certain brands or certain brands want you to do a video for them using their product. Um,
Hmm.
and so I've heard you speak a lot about the chemistry and the endocannabinoid system and how the CBD or the product that you're working with, can work with your system, your individual system. So do you find yourself when you're at events, when you're doing, your brunches or when you are doing things with Mike Tyson, right? I didn't make that up that you were shaking hands with him at an event recently. Is that correct, sir? Or am I else?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I didn't make that up. Oh, you see how you said yeah? You go, yeah, yeah. That's big.
I mean,
That's a big deal.
I try to often explain to people like, this whole celebrity shit is cool and everything, but there are regular people that are
Hmm.
celebrities to me, and you could be an average
Right.
Joe, and I could get more fun out of being
Yeah.
around you than I will any celebrity. So I know a lot of people like to focus their business based around celebrities and all that, which is cool and all if that's what they want to do. But I mean, I really enjoy just being around regular people,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
know,
life is
and
made up by the everyday person. We support the world,
right,
And it's just funny
really.
because he said that the first time we talked, I was like, "You've done what? Oh my god, I would be crazy." And
yeah,
he's like, "They're just people." I'm like, "I know that,
yeah.
but they're that person."
I
So
very rarely will ever bring up a celebrity's name in a conversation unless somebody else does, because it's just like that doesn't make me better
Right.
than anybody else
You
because
don't need the
I'm still
name
looking to
dropping.
celebrities. Right.
yeah,
Let the product
I'll do it for you
stand.
because I think it's dope.
Yeah,
When
no,
you're
I think
being
it's cool
flown
too.
out to
Plus,
Vegas
I was
and you're
liking
doing
it
this and
because
that.
you were saying that Mike Tyson is actually starting to do
Yes.
some stuff
Yeah.
in cannabis.
I mean, so when I see that, I just get excited for you because when that finally comes to fruition,
Well,
who's to say
well, I
that
will
he's not
say
going to
that.
ask you to come out and run one of the
Yeah, well,
restaurants?
I will say Mike is one of the more enjoyable people to be around.
I'm sure.
Okay.
I can't see anybody having a bad time around Mike Tyson. Like he just seems like he's had the his energy is way different. I imagine him to be exactly like how he was in Hangover, which I know he was playing himself. So and I know some of it was written, but I just feel like he would have a tiger.
I can't
feel
remember
like-
what movie it was, but I fell in love with Mike Tyson again ever since he like slapped the shit out of
Hangover,
yeah,
right? Yes.
I cannot tell you what movie it is.
That
what,
was hilarious.
oh my goodness. It's just the best.
He turned into a pretty good actor, like, comedic actor in a way. Like, so
definitely.
kudos to you, Mr. Tyson.
Yes.
I think it just comes down to personality. Some people are able to retain their personalities when they reach a certain stardom, and some people lose it and just become stars. If you know what I mean. I just think he has a great personality, and you know that says a lot. If somebody of his stature isn't stuck up, I'm saying, a real humble dude.
Because he definitely was humbled, because we all know his, his history and everything. And so I think it's when you become humbled and not by your own decision, your own choices,
just through life.
then you definitely on the other side, you have much more of appreciation for that. So that's what I kind of see. But I love that. I can't wait for everything to open. So, Mike, hey, you watching? Your girl would love to come on out. I know that's gonna be awesome though. But so speaking upon the fact that you are, you're in the Los Angeles area, and you do get to go to a lot of events and you meet a lot of people. Are you some of the people? We don't have to name any names, but some of the celebrities that have a brand and things like that. Are you finding them to be people that you wouldn't, want to put yourself with, or actually, connect with or collab with? Are you, are there people out there that that are just doing it for the money? As in the celebrity, brands. I'm going to put this because overall there is, but yeah. So
I mean, I would say that I think there are a few, athletes and entertainers out there that really do have a personal connection with it, and I think there are more people that are not celebrities and athletes that are doing more harm than a handful of, athletes and celebrities that are into it, if you know what I mean. And then it's not a people have to realize it's not a get rich scheme as people think it is. People thought that, getting into the cannabis industry was a gold rush, getting into the CBD industry is a gold rush, but this business takes as much effort as any other business. So if people are getting into this thinking it's just a gold mine, they're going to be sadly mistaken, and they're going to realize that you have to put as much effort into this business as you do any other business.
And you have to commit to this process because, we see that how rules can be changing daily sometimes. So if you're not committed to paying attention and being really involved in that active, ongoing change politically and, rules-wise, regulations-wise, good luck,
Yeah, and that's...
I think it comes down a lot to like brand awareness too. Like people want to see that you're out there and you touching the people. So, these CBD expos and these events, you can have a great product, but if they can't put a face or some kind of personality with it, you're just another product on the shelf.
Yep.
So I've learned that some of the greatest companies are because they're everywhere. And that takes a lot of time, but that builds brand awareness, and people meet you, and then when they walk into a store and there's 10 products up there and they see yours, they're going to...
Uh-oh. Did we lose him?
Oh. Hold on a second, guys. I still record. Okay, but I didn't hear anything, so gotcha.
What's
Still
that
recording.
beep beep?
We
Can you
just
stop it?
little technical difficulty, guys. It's okay. It's okay. Chef
We
gets
missed
his thoughts.
That's okay.
He'll pick up. He's awesome.
Yeah, I know he is. He's totally great. That's so cool.
And what I'm loving is when he's saying things, I'm like, I'm just sitting here and I'm like, oh, he totally said that the first time I talked to him. Like, he has not changed. And I never doubted that he was not a genuine person.
I'm so with that. Like, being with people, real people, and the products that are for real people and for real life, not just for the drama, not just for the hype, not just for the bullshit. Because let's face it, life is not all about partying and getting all stoned and wasted. It's about daily life, too.
And this is a
that?
plant that is designed to heal.
Right, exactly.
There's, like I say, there's hashtag, there is power in that flower. And we have to keep tapping into it so that we can, utilize it for what its true purpose is.
Exactly.
And
the vibranium.
Yeah, right. Hey, definitely
the
could
purple flower.
It could be. I remember, like I said, Chef he shared a story, and if we get back on in a bit here. but he shared a story about a friend of his whose son had very severe autism and a couple other things wrong, and she was pretty much homebound. She had to be at home because the baby couldn't go out. Just the interaction with the public was too much. So same thing he did for me when I was talking to him about my grandmother. He sent a package, of things that were kid friendly, peanut butter, jelly. I think he said like macaroni and cheese, like a cheese sauce for the macaroni and cheese. And within a couple of weeks or maybe a month, she was able to go to Walmart. Like she called and was like, I was at Walmart. And he was like, okay, cool. She's like, no. Like I was able to go to Walmart with my baby. So although he always had the idea that, like what we were discussing, that it wasn't just to get lit, he always had that in him because he has a love for food. That allowed him to really have the idea of what else he was going to be able to do and provide, through this love for it. So I thought I share that story like it's mine often.
Hey, I think the Skype is gonna say now.
Yeah, we got you. We got you back now. So it's okay. I was filling in and just kind of telling the story about your friend and her son, I believe, or daughter, that you created food for to help out with their autism. And her being homebound, and how I tell that story. No joke. Okay, let's say I do 3 education events per week. I talk about you definitely 2 out of 3. So it's an awesome story. You have much more than, hey, we can see that. We could see you before, Chef. You have much more than a story that people can relate to, but you're passionate when you talk about it. And that comes through. So I think that's something that I love. I write down your Instagram probably, 3 days. I actually did it 3 times today on the back of my business card, for people to be able to, find your product. And hold on 1 second. I can't.
Oh, say the Instagram.
Sorry.
What's your Instagram?
Thank you. Yes. Would you want to shout out your Instagram real quick, Chef? Because I know you have a couple. Which one you prefer?
Sure. Chef Matt 2.0.
There you go. Chef Matt at Chef Matt 2.0. Please go follow him, you guys. And then you will see that I'm not making up anything about what he's doing. He stays very busy. But yes, so it threw me off. That was my husband over here talking to me, Chef. And he just
The
threw me off
producer
here.
said,
Yes, producer slash hubby. Yes, producer extraordinaire. So yes, you have, like I said, much more of a platform than just, like you said, wanting to get people lit off of, a brownie. Right. Now, what brand do you work with the most, or do you prefer to work with, as far as implementing, within your brands and your food?
I say I work with Bang Chocolate a lot. Bang Chocolate, yeah, it's a great company. I really believe in their products and their chocolate and their mission and everything. So they're a company I work with a lot. And there are others,
It's really good. That's very good quality.
Yeah, Jack Hera is another group. Dan over there, Jack Hera. I love everything that they're doing and do stuff with them. CBdaily Eats, my CBD line. Got some stuff going on with Juju Royale. Just a lot of different stuff. But kind of slowing down on that this year. I think I'm only going to work with a handful of companies.
Okay.
And just build with those few companies. I don't want to just be everywhere, if you know what I mean, and I don't want to whore myself out, if you know what I mean.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. And get, it's kind of similar to a celebrity, thing. She came here today on like folks is getting on her nerves with not committing to things, but it just keeps
I
tying
see
into it.
crazy driving a lot in town lately, and it's because of people being uncommitted to the act of driving. They're texting, they're in their head, they're doing all this crazy shit, and then everywhere else. I'm fun, right? I'm a fun chick, but I'm dead ass serious. At the same time, I need you to get it together, people. So that's why I'm digging what you're saying, and what she's big up in you about, what MJ's big up in you about is your commitment, and how you're just really focused on the food and the product and being for people and really touching people,
And putting together good events. So he also pairs with someone else who I follow a lot, who puts on events, within the industry. And once again, this is why I, very envious of LA, because they have that culture that you're able to do a brunch every Sunday or every other Sunday, or, when the holidays are coming up, maybe do a holiday event.
Right.
So we don't have that here. And what's awesome is that it's people of color. Like, I'm just
yeah.
like,
Shout out to Chef
is
Kyla. She puts on her pop-ups, and that's my girl. I've gone to birthday parties and to just be in their world, and it's a vibe. It's a Beverly Hills kind of vibe, but it's a vibe, and I'm with it. So well, we don't have that here.
no, Sacramento
You
does
gotta,
not.
you gotta create it. You gotta create it yourself.
Yeah.
Chef told me that before too. I know. I'm still like, I asked him to do my 40th birthday.
Okay. Well, we need some good
now
chefs. We need a few good men and women.
Yeah. So I'm still gonna have that happen one day. Y'all gonna be watching my live, feed of my birthday party.
Well, we're putting on an event actually, and we planned some menu, right?
Yes.
Remember? So we
have
just
that.
got to get in there and dig a little deeper for actually.
But what did I
fruition.
say that we could infuse it with? Didn't I say CBdaily?
Oh yes,
I
Yes,
did.
you
So I
did.
was like, I can just hit him up, and go ahead and see if we can get a bottle or two or something. So
Yeah, we get you all fixed up.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we talked about sauces, right? We said the best place we think for kind of a public event is in the shosh.
yeah,
You're not gonna
yeah.
show.
Instead of trying to infuse,
The whole meal,
my,
right?
my tuna casserole that I think is fire. Instead of trying to do that, I'm just kidding.
Stop it.
My tuna casserole is fire, but I wouldn't do that to an event. Having people just all smelly and fishy, talking to each other's face. No, not at all. But Chef, I do want to ask you: do you feel a responsibility as somebody who I feel is kind of like an innovator in the industry in this, and creating this this service? Do you feel a service or a responsibility, to train others to, who have the interest? Like LA still has cooking and culinary schools.
Giving back,
Yeah, so if there's somebody that,
mentorship.
that contacts you and they want to train under you, do you feel, because I feel an obligation, a responsibility to help people get into
Each
the
one
industry
teach
or to,
one,
yeah.
yeah.
So do you feel that same way? And is that something that you do? I mean, are you just working, and you just out there and doing it all, or?
I have a staff. As far as trying to, you can't save the world, if you know what I mean. So I
Sure.
get a lot of
True.
DMs, and I try to give people the best advice I can give them. But I've tried to let people come in and do stuff, but people just have underlying, come to soak up as much game they can use, as much contacts, and move on. And I don't have a problem with that, but come and I'll let you know when I think you're ready. I'll sit you down and say, hey, I think you're ready to go out and do your own thing. Here's my blessings. But right now, man, I run a real tight ship. I work with, a handful of people that I work with, and that's where it's at right now. But people reach out to me, and I give them as much advice as I can give them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm working on something right now with some online CBD, online cooking courses.
Okay.
And we're also trying to get a certification for cooking with cannabis too. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that'll be available online for people to use around the world.
Well, that's
thank you. That is
amazing.
fa- it
Yes,
is.
that
It
is
is.
giving back, because you're going to regulate a form of education, or help regulate education and standardize it, I should say, more than regulate.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I keep talking to MJ about this. It's like when a person goes to be trained formally, who will they go to? Who can we trust to say, when I teach you this is the right way, and you're going to be big up, right, in this game for getting this education this way from these educators. So I love that. That is giving back. That is teaching.
I think that's
But
amazing.
that's making you able to reach more people than concentrate all your efforts into somebody who might act like a poop butt in the end, you know?
Or
But
charge a
but
crazy amount.
at the same time, it's like I don't feel like I appreciate the love that I give from people, but to myself, I don't feel like I'm this big guy that the king of cannabis cooking and all that. To me,
Right,
I'm
right.
just like a regular dude, if you know what I mean. So I appreciate the love and the pub that I get, but I be often looking around like, who are they talking about? Like,
Well, they're talking
Yeah.
about you.
Yeah. No, I've seen him at events. I'll see him at events, and you can definitely tell that he's like, what are you guys talking about? Like, oh, you're
Yeah.
clapping for me? Or I
Yes.
remember probably one of the first times that I think I saw you at an expo, and you were standing right next to, the big billboard or the big, A board that had your name and kind of bio on it. And I felt like the look on your face was like, this can't be why. Like, I'm just like, I don't need all this. But
yeah,
that's
I don't,
what's
I don't like a big fuss.
but that's what's awesome about you, though. And that's what's going to, and I think why the universe keeps blessing you, and you'll keep having this long term effect. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'll be able to say one day, I know him. That's my friend. That's my friend. No, it's really, I mean, it's
good.
amazing. And you're going to be able to, I see big things where your education course is going to be something that people are going to want to duplicate in one way and maybe take live. Maybe having
Master classes
Exactly,
and all
in
that
their city.
are important.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think so. So
Yeah.
even if you personally don't want to like absorb the clout, because I get it, we're in a world full of clout chasers, and it's annoying. People come at us with a lot of bullshit just trying to be popular, and that's not what you want. You want to talk about the food. You want to focus on your game, right, and not you. I get it. So
Yeah. So, say for example, I heard this that you can make. I'm not sure if you would even be able to answer this because it's not really cooking, but it is infusing. So, how you mentioned that you want, use flour. So, I was told that I can make infused vodka by using my coffee pot and
Yeah,
flour, and
you
just
can.
see, I'm definitely doing that
just
now.
like brewing it like tea or something.
Like, yeah, you put it through like twice or something like that, and it does all the
Yeah,
work for you.
because the water, because the temperature water of the coffee pot is not getting that hot that it's going to kill, the cannabinoids and all this shit in that. And so yeah, if you run it a few times, that work, and you could even just put it in the coffee pot itself and let the hot water run through and let it sit in the coffee pot and let that little hot plate keep it warm, and that's going to keep it at a certain temperature and extract. You might have to stir it up or agitate it, but it's just the temperature that is holding the cannabis at a certain temperature,
Wow.
pulling all the terpenes and the cannabinoids and the deltas and all the different THCs out of it. That's one way, and then you have a lot of different machines that you can
That do
use.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just saw one. What was it, babe? The one that was it Two Chains? Yeah, so on Two Chains, like most expensivest that show.
Yeah, yeah, that
And
was a sister too. I see she got a
oh
machine. I need to
yeah, it
reach
was
out to her and see what I could do.
yeah, it's a great machine, really good price, but it was funny as hell. She went to take a hit, and I think she was trying to show off. She took way too big of a hit, and Two Chains start to try to interview her, and she's like,
Wait, what does the machine do?
it breaks down. Well, so it breaks down the flour a couple of different ways, and it like instantly makes there you go,
Oh,
hash
wow.
and or concentrate wax.
Oh, wow. So it's like a food processor or something for cannabis.
Kind of in a way, and it wasn't expensive. I'm an Amazon shopper, so on Amazon it was $200 or something. It was good. It was really good. But yes, chef, that's definitely somebody that I think it'd be an asset, both of you, to each other. But that's amazing. I like that because the guy that told me about the vodka, the reason why I asked, he's a nice guy, but he also seemed like he would then turn around and tell me a story about how he was, with an alien, one and just out in the desert, and they went on a trip together, and then they found diamonds, and he created diamonds with the alien. Like he would,
Don't
that
hit
kind of guy.
whatever he passes you.
Right,
Right.
right,
What was
Don't-
going
don't-
on
don't-
there?
right. So when he told me that, I was like, okay, maybe, but yeah, he didn't explain it as thorough and succinct as you did. So I appreciate that.
Nice.
So that is excellent. So I want to thank you so much. I know you have a
Yes,
busy,
thank
busy,
you.
busy day. For the rest of it, I would love to have you on because we do a little shit talking here. We do.
Well, let's talk some shit.
All right, let's go. I love to, to get your
He
opinion.
ready.
Yes,
He
I like
ready.
that. So speaking of you saying that, because that's how the girls on
Don't ask me nothing that's gonna get me in trouble.
No,
now,
I'm
'cause
not.
you know I'm
No.
getting to ask all questions,
No,
and
this-
people not gonna like
Never
some of my
that.
replies, but fuck them.
Hey, look, like I'd rather be realer than rude.
Right.
Quote
Right.
by the great
Okay, you.
2 Chainz.
I got
Yes.
something to say, kind of shit talking. So I don't want to hold myself out. And I was gonna ask you, has anyone ever tried to date you for food, like for your cooking skills? Because I have flirted quite hard I'm serious, with a few chefs. Because look.
Let's just say the DM stay cracking.
Right.
Yeah,
See,
Hey.
pop, pop,
I
pop.
like
But,
that. Hey,
yeah,
hey.
but it is all comes down to what it is that the person that's receiving the DMs is looking for. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
I politely thank them and just kind of keep it pushing if you know what I mean.
That's good.
Ladies, what I would suggest is if you're in the area, how about you go to an event,
Right.
present yourself in the best way possible, see him in action. That probably will work a little bit better than you twerking or saying something
Oh,
through the
goodness.
DMs.
I
saying.
never
Just
slid in
guessing.
the
I don't know.
DMs, but in the food comments, just be like, "Ooh, we getting married," something like that. Like,
The twerking in a DM may work.
Oh, so my bad. Do both. Baby, do
oh,
both.
wow. That's what,
Twerk and then turn around and present and show that you can carry a conversation and that you know about world events and maybe you know a little bit about cooking. I like that.
LOL.
See, realness. That's what's perfect over here. So yeah, we have this. We talk about popping can of combos is what we have next. So we talk about anything. We talk about topics
Right.
that are current.
pop culture
And
current.
yeah. So we were sitting here kind of saying, well, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to talk about? And I said, wait, there hasn't been a whole lot of bullshit this week.
It's been a
Celebrities are
pretty
kind of
calm week.
behaving themselves in a way. But there's always the great continued beef that is only one-sided with Nick Cannon and Eminem.
I don't have the
So-
latest update on that.
Yes, well, the latest is that Nick Cannon keeps running his mouth.
Oh goodness.
And nobody else has said anything other than 50, Obi Trice. I think Yellow Wolf came out and said
are they
something.
telling him to be quiet?
Yeah, well, 50 said I should kick you in your ass. Like, not even I should kick your ass, but I should kick you in your ass like a little kid or
goodness.
something. But Chef, you have an opinion on that? Are you team #Cannon? Because he has the flows, or what do you think, if anything, about the
I know
situation?
Nick way back in the day. Nick's a cool dude. I mean, that shit is just entertainment. Nobody,
Yeah.
I definitely think.
If it came down to rap battle, we all know Eminem's going to eat him up, but you got to respect Nick for not backing down.
I do,
Right.
and this is what I say is, excuse me. Whoa. Sorry.
Yeah, Nick over the past few years has kind of beefed up a little bit, He's kind of become a little more defensive in his position.
Well, I think some of that
Like,
comes
don't mess
from,
with me.
Well, Hollywood has tried him, so I think I respect him as a businessman. Nobody can knock his hustle. He definitely has a lot more money in his bank accounts than I do. But he's smart. He doesn't give up.
Not only that, that man has trend set, a lot of the stuff in the industry, for TV. Some of the things he's done by owning his own shit, producing his own shows,
Yes.
and these kind of TV deals he kind of got cash money record TV deals. The dude
Yeah.
owns his own shit, and so while people are sitting back and laughing, people should really be sitting back and taking notes, if you know what I mean.
And I agree, but and that's why what she would do is focus, though. Like, I feel like when he puts himself in this situation, it's like, Nick, it's like, we see you on Wildin' Out. And he takes it all in stride when they say he can't rap or flow there. So I'm like, I know he knows,
Right,
but I also feel like you don't need that.
But he owns Wildin' Out.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying. I know he knows deep down. I'm not saying I'm not saying Gigolo wasn't a. Hey, I wasn't saying. Not even saying I wasn't. But that's part of his genius
I
as
bought that
a
little
artist and a
movie
creator.
with him and Christina Milian.
Uh,
I own that.
The
I own that. I
remake
do.
of
My family laughed at. They were
Can't
like,
Buy Me
"Why
Love.
would-" Yes, they were like,
Yes.
"What?"
His
I'm
was
like, "Hey,
called
leave
Love
me
Don't
alone.
Cost a Thing.
Leave me alone.
But it was, believe me, I know. It was off of one of my favorite movies, Can't Buy Me Love. That was fire. till this day, I will watch Drumline like I've never seen it before. That's fire.
Is Cash Doll on Wild 'N Out?
I don't know,
I was just
child.
been thinking
Who's
there's like
that?
there was a name, like a new kind of female rapper name who is actually being on Wild 'N Out right now.
I
But
don't
Lovely Mimi's on Wild 'N Out right now. I like her.
Who?
This girl
You
on
be
the
knowing the
gram.
most ratchet. No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
I know the damn people is.
Right, thank you, Chef. Right.
Hey, I thought
Seriously.
you said you were into pop
Seriously.
culture.
No, so Chef, I've been talking about this, being that it is, going to the end of the decade. So it is my question to ask: what would you say of the last decade would be your favorite album?
Wow, the last decade. Honestly,
Yes.
and this album was slept on to me. The Mac and Devin soundtrack for the movie,
For how-
Snoop and Wiz Khalifa movie.
I've
Mac and
never
Devin,
seen that movie,
High
but-
School High, is that what it was? Snoop
Yeah.
and Snoop and
Yeah.
Okay.
Wiz.
Snoop- If you
I'm
pop that CD in or that in, you skip a song from beginning to end.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how that didn't win awards or anything, but that's one of the dopest albums I've heard in the last.
I'm looking up in
And
the
you
track
know
list
what
right
I
now, 'cause
think
I've
might
never,
have
I haven't
happened.
seen it.
What might have happened there is the movie, in its cornballness, overshadowed
It did.
the fire of the music. We slept on the music because we were so busy looking at the stoner film. Like, what the fuck? just
Completely
happened?
will admit.
Like, I love you,
yeah.
Snoop. I love you, Wiz. But I'm feeling a little some
Yeah,
kind of
they
way
were-
about
they
this
were-
movie.
They if you go back and listen to that, they were in rare form. It's like they made each other better. The melodies, the production, the content. I mean, the way Snoop and Wiz just went back and forth on every song. I mean,
No, you have to make me listen to that.
So I'm going to listen now because I
Yeah.
totally slept on it.
I was never. What
I
song
mean,
did it?
ain't like Sade put out an album lately. You know, the Isaac Brothers ain't put out. Ain't no,
Sade.
the kind of music I like. So as
And that's-
far as that,
It's funny that you mentioned that because I talked about it, I think, the first or second episode, how I realized I was just cleaning and I had really good sativa and it was early in the morning. I was cleaning. I had put on Love Deluxe and I just was instantly transformed back to when I first heard it. And I remember what I was going through then and how I interpreted the songs and how I sang it with just so much like just crying because I just, was going 20, 21, just going through it. And how I respect it differently.
And if you look behind you, Bob Marley,
Yes.
his son Julian,
Yes.
probably got one of the best albums I've heard of 2019. Last 2018, his album.
Okay.
He's up for a Grammy. I've never been the biggest reggae fan. The only reggae I've ever really liked was Bob Marley.
Okay.
You know, by working with him and really sitting back and listening to it, I see how he's up for a Grammy. And I'd have to mention him too.
Nice.
So
Okay.
Julian Marley.
So that's something
Yeah.
else. And see, I
Julian.
like to add stuff to my playlist, because you just never know. I drive a lot, so sometimes,
Okay.
I need different
I
music.
love Rita Marley. Like, let me just put that out there. Bob's wife, Rita. My goodness, one of the Wailers. I love it. She is amazing.
Look at you.
So yeah.
Just knows things over here, Miss Vita. Just knows.
Well,
things.
the whole family, Damien. They got that fire.
Yeah,
The group of people.
Right.
very spiritual. I feel like very well connected. I don't feel that it's fake. Their spirituality and what they talk about.
There's some real noble, like high blood or something.
That's like
in them.
Nipsey's mom. Like when she spoke at his service, I believed everything that she said. Like just her conviction and just her spirit. That's something that you can just truly see is completely drenched in their spirituality, but they don't try to force it upon you. It's more of definitely an education, and you learn from it whether you want to or
speaking
not.
of which, is Yeezy, like, are people like, is that the new preacher man? Like, what's going on with Yeezus?
I'm not gonna lie, the music is fire though.
Okay.
Like, and if he's
Fire.
connecting, right, it's
Okay.
fire. And it's songs
Gospel.
that we know. Like, it's not like some of it. I'm waiting for him to do like Kanye's workout plan, but just turn that into something about that will be lit, But It's good though.
Okay.
So
I have not listened.
I don't, because I always think that first he is just this amazing artist. Go back and listen to the College Dropout.
Oh yeah, I love the
Like,
College
come
Dropout.
on. And what that meant to me at the time when it came out, it still is that feeling. And to anybody that's don't have any kids and that's trying to make their way in life, you should be able to relate to that damn album and anything since then. But I look at him and his artistry. I've always been able to separate, and I don't see why people can't do that. Just be able to separate the artist from, the person, because, as you say, they are people.
Right.
And
they're
we're very
definitely
complicated.
people.
So, if this is how he wants to express himself and the stage that he's in his life, who am I to judge? And if he's bringing people and those people need something that they didn't think they needed, but they're getting that fulfilled by going into a field or going whatever and doing whatever, hey,
Totally agree.
I'm waiting for him to pop up around Sacramento. I don't think it's gonna happen, but
Will
I'm waiting for
Jay
that.
get on board with will it be like The Crown revisited for the highest crown, for the Lord's
Watch it
crown?
on that CD is fire as well. But I don't know. Jay-Z's on a different level. Jay-Z's a businessman. I don't see that being a collabo type of event. No.
I
no.
was being silly.
Yeah, no, I know. But hey,
You never know.
stranger
You
things
never-
have happened. So
they're like Jay and Ye got back together at Diddy's party and
that was what we were gonna
reunited
yes.
with Kim and B. So I
It-
saw that.
yeah, so Diddy's party, that's definitely something we were going to talk about as well this evening.
I like all the dress.
People
the
look
ladies
really
look real
good.
nice. The gentlemen look really nice.
I mean, it's Diddy. Would you go to Diddy's party looking like,
that's a lot of pressure. You'd be like, man, I'm going to Diddy's 50.
It would be.
Gotta
It would
get
be.
ready in advance, really in advance.
Yeah, he got out there and danced in that nicely tailored tuxedo. Did his old moves. He didn't do them like way back in the day, but he still got it. It was just it's nice to see people of color, being able to do it big like that, and for it to be such a big thing because it was like all the news and everything Monday. Jamie Foxx had like a 5-day birthday celebration, 5 for not even for like his 50th or 55th, 52nd.
No,
Like,
but you know what? Jamie has always done that, actually. I have a friend who is friends with him, and every year, goes out for his birthday. So it's always been like a party for every year for him, too.
I celebrate the entire month, and then pretty much up until my husband's birthday, which is April 27th. My birthday's March 23rd. So I celebrate from March 1st to maybe I'll sometimes do the 26th, and then we have a joint party. Birthdays are important. It's a good turn-up time. So, Chef, I really want to thank you. I didn't think we had any other. Do we have any bullshit to talk?
I think that's,
popping
that
cannon
covers
combos?
it. That's for me.
Yes. You sure? Because you like to bring
No,
up some
I'm
stuff.
good. No one did anything to, get me to. Oh, well, okay. Listen.
See, that's why I give you that second chance.
Now that it comes to mind, I was watching a couple reality TVs, and I'm always focused on how the women making this big deal about the man they're with cheating on him. And there's always that storyline, right? And so it kind of culminated in my mind where I'm thinking, like, why is this the ultimate value to your relationship with a person who's a known cheater? I'm just so confused. And my sister goes, let that man cheat in peace. she's
He ain't did nothing to you.
You know who he is. You know what he's gonna do, and you acting brand new. Either leave, be done with it, or let that man cheat in peace. I
think it's because the average woman thinks that she can change him.
Right, stop. You can't.
So
Yes,
I
that's
wanted
my silly-
to. On that point, my husband was watching. We were watching Cheaters. Was it yesterday?
Oh goodness.
And it was. When they're doing the interview, when they come on and they're like, "Yeah, so he loved me so much, and then all of a sudden, he wasn't coming home, and his underwear smelled like this." Like, and it's all signs are pointing to he's cheating.
Right.
Why are you on Cheaters? Like, what? I could call you up, hang out with you for a little bit, and then be like, "Hey, this is what it is." But this episode, the dude was hella cold with a straight face. He said, "That's not me. I don't have. That's my brother. I let my brother use my car. I don't even have a white shirt. That can't be me." Like, he was resolute and just lying to like, just I don't know what you're talking about. that's not me. And they're like, that is, nope. I don't even own white shirts. I don't even wear white. And I was just like, how
And
are
I
you
love, I love that Hollywood trash TV, but it's just kind of like, come on, ladies, I need you to get another storyline. You
But
know?
yeah, I mean, but it's unfortunate because that, Cheaters is old. I haven't seen new Cheaters in a long time.
Yeah, it is old.
But what I was saying is, could you imagine if they did Cheaters now?
Oh, today, 2.0,
Man,
revisit
look
it.
here. In the words of Shaggy, it wasn't me.
It
I don't
wasn't
care
me,
what you got on
right.
tape, what you saw. If I left my driver's license, it wasn't me. God damn it.
See, that's what you were saying.
Deny.
She said, are you taking her home? He said, it's her birthday. I can't leave her here. But like earlier in the episode, he got mad at the chick and left her where they were. So she's like, you've done it before. And the host, Joey Greco, was like, yeah, you have. We have it on tape. You want to see? You've done it before. Dude was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So he gets in the car with the girl. And the girlfriend's like, where are you going? He's like, I'll see you at home. She's like, no, you won't. He's like, yeah, I will. I'll see you at home. Do you know when they came back from commercial, she decided that she knows that she can make him come out to his best and help him to become the better man. So they talked to him, and he was like, I don't know what she's talking about. I'm about to keep doing what I'm doing. And then she's going to keep believing that I'm not. I was like,
And that,
whoa. Like,
yeah.
just...
I guess that's the way it goes, you know?
So unfortunately, that's why you allow...
Right.
I heard my mom say all the time, you allow yourself to be treated the way that you're being treated.
Right,
So
right. Well, I
that
love
hasn't
the
changed.
trash TV, but I hope that, young women today are kind of taking out of this that they're allowing this. This is as you cry, boo-hoo, don't cheat on me, I don't want to be cheated on. You're with a cheater, and they're not getting cognitive behavioral therapy to change their actions. So...
when you're young, and I'll admit I did it, you think you can change. I can change him. But girl, when you get to about 22, 23, and since 18, he playing the same games on Xbox or whatever that he was doing before.
And you know that this man is wanting.
And vice versa.
And
Let's not
loose.
just, we're not saying, we're not going to say whether we're man bashing. Let's say vice versa.
Well,
That
whoever
you're with.
cheating.
Yeah.
But I
whoever you're with,
noticed
yeah.
lately on the shows, it's just always the girls, the ladies crying, the guy cheating.
Because it's better that way.
You
The
know,
guy,
right,
it's more
so-
believable, I guess. But
Black men don't cheat.
yes,
Well,
hashtag love that. I love that. Charlotte
Oh
May
wait,
was
but
genius.
they are going in on
And Lil
April.
Duval.
Ooh,
Oh, well, she
going in
deserved
on April hard this week.
Man, I just watched that episode. Love and Hip Hop. You don't act like you don't know, Chef. Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Right in your
Hey, that's
town,
right.
your
This
city.
is all LA.
It's
Like,
your
come
people.
on.
Your people
Your
making
folks.
just your people.
Don't watch it.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
He has it paused right now. He's like, I'm not watching it. He has it paused. It's guilty. It is
It's a
definitely
guilty pleasure. I definitely treat it like Dynasty or
All I
something.
do is yell at the TV.
You know,
All I do.
right?
And correct their grammar. That's what.
It's just
That's what I
It
do.
makes for good podcast conversations. Like
Yes.
that's really what it is. They're giving a lot of life to a
Yeah.
lot of people's podcasting and talking, and
And then
a lot
I
of-
will say on the other side, the producer, Ms. Mona Scott, she's helping a lot of people being able to put food on their table and, pay for their kids to go to college or have a better life. So as long as y'all willing to get on there and embarrass your families, then go right ahead.
You ain't embarrassing me
Go.
if I was related
It's great
to
for me.
you.
Oh, see, I could never. Like
That's on
everybody in
her.
my family would talk, man. I would hear it from my uncles to hear it, okay? We don't put our business out in the street, but everybody does.
We
have
do
each other.
today.
We absolutely do. We don't live by that anymore. But yeah, so Chef, one last thing, the producer extraordinaire definitely had a recommendation. And do you have any recommendations for Christmas gifts that you recommend for any consumer that they should be getting out and purchasing?
There's tons of things. There's my products.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, I was gonna say. I was going because
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff. I think I just bought a friend of mine this new airtight pouch that you can put all your cannabis and stuff in. It kind of looks like a backpack, but it holds everything airtight. I think I paid like $40 for it on Amazon. It's called the skunk pouch or skunk.
Oh
or
yes,
something.
yes. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like
Skunk pouch.
I can't reach our backpack. If I showed you it, first of all, I'll be honest. When you have a baby and you leave the hospital, different brands give you stuff like diapers or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's the backpack from, I want to say Infamil, I think. And we use that. And it's from
You got
It's
a
8 years
breastfeeding
old.
backpack.
It is exactly, and it was a guy. It was supposed to be for men, so it's supposed to be like a cool little diaper backpack for men.
Daddy
And that's
diaper bags.
that's
Yeah.
what we use, and it's seen better days. So we definitely
So
need
you
something.
need a skunk. What was it called? Skunk pack.
I think it's
I
a
like-
skunk pack or something like that.
We'll find a
I'll-
hashtag that. We'll have to. Well, I will say I'll add to that, and it's within the cannabis realm, a smoke buddy. I don't know if anybody's seen those, but they're little nifty contraptions that you can blow your smoke into, and it traps it.
Oh,
And it
okay.
keeps so it's odorless.
So if you want to blaze at like Disneyland in the
or
bathroom,
just at home, everybody, in California, you can't do what you want to do in your own apartment or house anymore.
Yeah.
So that's so. Chef, do you have any events coming up? Anything? This is your time to, shout out what you're doing. This is the time that I
Nah,
would
man.
like for you.
From now until the new year, mostly just paperwork behind the scenes, stuff like that, gearing up for the new year. The new year coming up, 2020 got a couple like Harlem night type themed dinners where everybody's gonna get high end
Yes.
Harlem Renaissance
yeah.
type things going on.
To LA. Trip
I
to
know,
LA.
hey.
What?
LA, and we're gonna do some traveling. I got some, high profile celebrities that are gonna attach themselves to it. A couple of musical artists. We're
Well,
working on.
Can we see you up here in Sac? I mean, it is a premier destination. We got the Kempton soil. We got all kind of stuff right now.
All I need is an invite.
Okay.
And hey, that's what you should. Come on,
Yeah.
come on,
we're-
Chef.
Chef, let's try to get Chef somewhere nice.
I
We're
know.
doing a concert and dinner series real soon. So there's a lot of stuff coming up for 2020. Just
fantastic.
trying to change the game.
And definitely sounds like you will. I mean, I'm thinking about what I could wear since you said the Harlem, like Harlem Nights. I'm already got my outfit together. Like we driving, so we can
Right,
split,
I got my
split
flappers,
gas.
so I got on my whatever poet, black poet. I do what I
That
want.
sounds awesome. I love that. So I as well, am manifesting some other opportunities going into next year. The
Yes.
first one is going to be January 18th, and it's in collaboration with our sponsor, Monthleaf, and it's going to be a create and elevate monthly
Paint
experience.
night. Yeah, we're
It's
gonna
going to
be
be so.
painting.
Every month it's going to change. It's going to be maybe a paint night. I mean, maybe you're going to be doing some ghost-esque type of couples, making of
Right.
some, working with some clay and doing some things and just
Touching,
everything.
like, yeah.
Sounds freaky.
That's why I was going with that. You saw my hands.
No,
I
what
had
she
to
meant was sensual.
There you go. I'm freaky. We have audiences. Somebody that like freaky and somebody that'll be like, ooh, sensual. So whichever one you like, that's what it will be.
Well, all the ones that like freaky follow me.
Right? There you go. There you go. That's why your DMs be just lit right there. That's why. See, it's that quiet confidence and everything. A very nice smile, right?
Yes,
So you have
yes.
your camera shots. Good Lord, I was saying earlier how I haven't really slept in about 6-7 days, Chef. So my brain is starting to be like, hey, what's going on? But your your Instagram is fantastic. I'm not sure, and it's funny because when we first spoke, you were like, look, would you be interested in helping me with my social media? I focus on cooking. I don't focus on that. But I'm not sure if you're working with somebody. If you have somebody that's, taking management of your page, they're doing a great job. Pictures look great. See? And that's a skill that you weren't comfortable with. You just wanted to focus on the art, and you've had to become comfortable with that and grow.
Man, I just post some shit, like it or not, it don't really
That's-
matter.
But you have one. You've curated one that you didn't even know about. So that's something that I think that with people watching, they can take away from what this conversation with you. That you have to be multifaceted.
I don't value my success in terms of Instagram followers. I value my success in terms of is my phone ringing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For gigs. So
Yes.
Right.
Whether
It's
your
them
debit card
checks,
goes through
right,
when you're
them
at the
checks.
whether you got to call, whatever we have SMUD up here, but whatever your electricity is, and make a payment arrangement or not. I feel you. But what I'm saying, you're doing marketing in the way that you can do marketing within this industry and with being a chef. So I think you do an excellent job of that. Definitely, everybody, please go follow him.
Yes.
If you are in the LA area, and even if you're not, LA is not that far away. Get on the road, just know how to drive like grown people. You get there 5-6 hours, fill up your tank. and get yourself to an event. And I will always share. If you guys already follow me on my, the Mary Jane Maven Instagram, I pretty much repost anything that I see that's going on with him, so you'll be able to find out that way. But yes, like I said before, we've never actually met, but I feel like we've been in the same room with each other. But I really appreciate you and your friendship and your knowledge when you definitely feel like it's necessary for you to kind of let me know you're tripping right now. And there's been plenty of times I was like, my husband saying, he's like, your husband's right. This is you are like, you're tripping. I remember strictly one time he said, stop telling everybody everything. He's like, your ideas are great, but not everybody needs to know them. And I was like,
well, because we're learning up here as Sacramento grows, and it's really, we've got a lot going on artistically, and it's really developing quite nicely. A lot of money and investment just in the infrastructure as well as the art support and art community of our, of our town. There's a lot of biting right now, like a hell of a lot of snatching ideas and acting like they're yours. And, that ain't right. There's enough for everybody, but you got to creatively kind of own your own. And so that's why sometimes you got to hold back, those
Nobody
biters.
has to deal with that, more than me and some of my partners. There's so many brunches popping up now. There's so much shit. But, I mean, like they say, nobody can duplicate you, if you know what I mean. They can duplicate, they can go out and buy the same purse or same outfit you're going to wear, but can't nobody rock it exactly like you. So, don't even waste your time and energy
on that,
worrying about, people are copying and all that, because what they can't copy is your swag, your personality, your isms, if you know what I mean. They can copy the outfit, but, some shit they can't copy. So,
and people know
all you
that.
can do, just do you and build your brand, and people will go to yours and then go to theirs, and they'll tell the difference. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. What's yours, no one can take,
Exactly.
And people know that. And it's funny that you say that. I like to have a lot of quotes. And what you were saying, I swear I was actually going to use as the quote to kind of define our conversation in our episode tonight. So it was actually a quote by Michael Jackson. I'm going to say this, and then I guess we can go ahead and end, because this is going to be actually kind of fire. It's going to be like dropping the mic. So give me, that's what it's going to be like, and it's going to be just fire. So it's better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson. Boom. Mic drop.
Yes.
Genius. So no, it just kind of plays to what you were just saying. But once again, thank you for coming on. Yes, we had a good time. I hope everybody, was able to take away the education and the inspiration that I have from him, and that I knew that he'd be able to give, just through his experience and his, just resolute truth. You don't feel any falsehoods, off of him. So he won't brag. I'll brag for him, because it's cool. It's cool to do that. No, but like I said, we really appreciate your time. Producer extraordinaire is saying thank you as well.
And, I appreciate it.
Yeah, give your name again. He gave his Instagram. We'll make sure we'll post it. But go ahead, just give a little once again, Chef. Let people know where they can find you.
At Chef Matt 2.0, at CBdaily Eats, at Ganja Eats, and ChefMattCooks.com and CBDailyEats.com.
Nice.
I answer all my own DMs and everything, so I'm very obtainable.
Yes.
I just ask that you be patient and getting back to me getting back to you, but I'll personally answer every DM myself.
Even the twerks.
I was gonna say the twerks get moved up.
Especially the twerks.
Those get moved up.
I think I'm gonna answer the twerks first.
Okay.
Just a little time to get around.
That's the way to move up. It's the way to move up if you want them to,
Y'all twerking for good food now.
Yes. Oh, and I look forward to another, like Valentine's Day, maybe video or collaboration, because that was really good when you were kind of talking about what you could do with chocolate. And it was around Valentine's Day. I don't know if you realize that. It was around a couple months before.
Just let me know anything you need. You're one of the very few handful of people that I fuck with. And, you are family to me. So just anything you need that I could do for you. Don't hesitate to hit me up. You did.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much once again. I can't say it enough. We'll talk soon. You have a very, very, very Merry Christmas and Happy New Decade. I'm gonna be cruising to Jamaica, so I won't be able to shout out then. So I'll say it now.
Nice. Okay,
right.
well, thank you guys very much for having me.
All right.
Congrats on everything that you're doing. Keep
Thank
doing it.
you.
Keep killing it. And success by any means.
I like that for sure. Now that's the mic drop. That's where we're ending on that. All right. Thanks so
All right,
much.
thanks. Yeah.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Cool beans. Yeah.